Everybody is down with you when you're planning a trip, but who really is going on a trip? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Angel, and we're back with another video. As you guys can read by the title what this video is going to be, it's going to be a story time. This is going to be my very first story time on this channel. I want to go ahead and start this video by saying I done reached my goal, which is 1,000 subscribers, and I'm super excited. I know I've been talking to you guys about doing giveaways, and those are on the way. Stay tuned for that. I want to get back to you guys by adding more content to this channel. I don't know if I told you guys before, but I'm gonna tell you guys now if I didn't. I do want to start changing the way I do my videos and the content that I create. By hitting 1,000 subscribers, I can do that, and I'm gonna start doing that for you guys. So I have a pretty interesting life. I done been through a lot. And for you guys to get to know me and understand my life, and if some things do happen to you guys similar, you guys will know how to get over it or get through it. And I don't know. But this story time is going to be funny. It's getting close to spring break, and I was just feeling, why not do this video now? Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you guys are planning a Miami trip with your friends, just know Miami is the place of broken friendships. You guys take that one vacation, you will not be friends with your long-term friends ever again. And stop it right now. Cancel the trip, go by yourself. I don't even know if you're supposed to take your boyfriend to Miami. It just, I've heard of people say this, but I'm just like, yeah, right. I've known these people for over 5 years. I've known people for forever. You wouldn't think that a trip is gonna break your friendship. It's kind of the reason, but it's kind of not. I'm gonna break this video down into 2 parts. And this first part isn't gonna be the actual trip. It's gonna be trying to get this trip together. And I wanna explain to you guys like the hardship of trying to do a vacation with everybody, because it does not work. And I still have been on vacations after that, and it still has flopped. Okay? So I know a lot of people that do story times. I've been watching certain videos to kind of get a feel of it. I know a lot of people curse, and a lot of people don't curse, and I'm trying not to curse because I do not want to get demonetized or whatever. I'm gonna just do it that way. Again, before I do this story, I want to do a disclaimer, because I don't want people coming for me. The disclaimer is, I know I'm gonna probably be calling people broke or whatever on this trip. I'm not the richest person out there, and I feel like with certain people have different lifestyles. Like, a lot of people have more responsibilities than others. I don't have, like, I still live with my parents, so my responsibilities are kind of, you know, shared. The one friend I'm gonna be talking about in here, she lived with her dad and her boyfriend, and I don't know how they split the bills or whatever there, but she didn't live like she used to live with her parents. So I know everybody has different responsibilities, and my other friend, she had basically all responsibilities by paying. I know she had to always pay. So it's just different responsibilities of different people. Like I said, I didn't at the time have that much responsibilities, but I still helped with toiletries and pay half on the rent. But it was just different responsibilities. And I don't want people to be like, oh, you call people broke, you got a silver spoon, which it is the case. But it's like, if you can't make a trip, don't make a trip. If I'm asking you, if you don't have the money, don't go on a trip, basically is what I'm trying to say. And a lot of people don't get that. They just still want to go on a trip because they know you're going on a trip. If you don't have it at the time, but if you're somebody's friend and you do have it, because at the time when we went on this trip, I did have it. I was able to take care of pretty much everybody, you know. So I wanted to say this before, I got in a car accident before I went on the trip, probably 2 years before, and I ended up getting the money back for that. So I was able to at least pay for everybody, honestly. It's just like my one friend told me, she was like, I ain't gonna have it. I might not have this, I might not be able to do this on the trip. And I was like, you let me know, so I got you. And that's what I was looking for. I was looking for out of this other friend, because I'm like, if you would have told me that, it's okay, but I shouldn't be like you adding people on a trip and I gotta pay for them. It's not just you and my other friend, it's you, the friend, and your boyfriend, which that's why had like the problem with. And it's like, it's nothing, it's not, if you don't have it, let me know. That's like, I had another incident before like that where I had a friend say, let's go to the movies, and we got to the movies, she wasn't trying to put out her wallet or nothing, she didn't have it. And it's like, don't let me know when I get here, let me know before, and I will pay. Like, I'm that type of friend, I will pay for you, I don't mind if I have it. I'm not trying to sit here and be in nobody's pockets or whatever, but if you don't have enough to go on a trip, don't go on a trip. That's all I'm trying to say. And I don't like people that, you know, because I don't want people in here in the comments trying to say, but you this, but you this. No, if you don't have it, don't come on a trip. I gave you an option. It wasn't like you coming on a trip with me. If you don't have it, don't come on a trip. I don't care what nobody say. You guys, you can say whatever you guys want to say and be like, you broke too or whatever, but it is what it is. I told you guys, I don't have a silver spoon either. I have my own responsibilities. I have my own stuff I need to pay. I have student loans I owe. Like, it's not easy over here either. I just don't have as many responsibilities as you guys. But I still got my own stuff to take care of. And like y'all hearing this story, y'all gonna hear in this story that I had other stuff on top of going on this trip that I had to do. So that's all for the disclaimer. Let's go ahead and get right into this juicy story. You guys stay tuned. If you guys, before we start this video, go ahead and get you guys something to eat, something to drink, because this is about to be a juicy one for you guys. I know I told you guys before that I'm doing this into 2 parts. If you guys don't want to hear this part, this is basically like getting a trip together, then you guys are going to want to hear the other story time I'm going to do, which is going to be the actual trip. But this is like getting this trip together and trying to figure out who is going on the trip, if these people had enough money to go on the trip. So the first thing, I have my handy dandy notebook right here. I have everything in a list to talk about first, and I'm gonna have receipts. There are gonna probably be pictures on the side or whatever, so you guys don't think I'm lying, because I don't have time for that. First things first is basically who was all supposed to come on this trip. So it was supposed to originally be a girls trip. Me, Bestie, we're gonna get my friend name and we're gonna call her Bestie because we ain't gonna say people's names on here. Bestie, me, Bestie's sister, she got 2 sisters, and who else is the other person? Bestie's one of Bestie's sister's friend. I'm not gonna say certain type of names. They're not a big part in the story. It's basically about other people, but I just want to give everybody a name. It was just supposed to be 5 of us, and it's gonna just be a girls trip at first, but back then, I think this was 2019 when we was planning this, and we was all just talking about, because I already knew I wanted to go to Miami. That was always going to be a trip that I was going to take regardless. And at this time, how old was I? I think I was 21. Me and my friend, me and Bestie was 21. So me and her were able to go to Miami and drink and party and stuff. So everybody else was younger. They were younger than us. They were like 20 and 19. And the sister's friend was 20 as well. So it was just going to be me and Bessie to basically do everything. So we was already like trying to figure out what could we do with them that don't call us to go out to the club. And me and her just do a club probably one day or whatever. But it was going to just be us. Like I said, this was 2019. We was planning it for 2020. But as you guys know, in 2020, COVID happened. And it kind of messed everybody's plans up. And I did not go on vacation the whole COVID. Well, I did because COVID's still going. But that whole 2020 year, I didn't do anything but like have a house party. But for 2020, that was supposed to be when we were going to go to Miami. And like I told him, I was like, just save up because we don't ever know. We was talking about this heavy. We all had like a group chat or whatever. Texting. I already had the house that I wanted because I was already on Airbnb looking at stuff and just seeing what's pretty and what's not. And I have a problem with wanting a pretty house every time I go on vacation, and they kind of pricey. But I was like, if we all put in on this, it will be cheap. Like if we all put in on it, we'll be okay. And I wanted to stay at this pretty house. I'm gonna insert the picture because this is where we did end up staying. Insert the picture right here. So the house is really nice. As you guys can see, the pool is nice, the freaking waterfall, and it had a bar in the pool, which I really liked. And I was like, okay, that part is a hot tub. So I'm like, this is what I want. It got surround sound in the house. This house is just really pretty, and that's what I wanted. Like I was set on that. I won't go to Miami unless I get this house. I was looking into the house, everything was pretty or whatever. And I sent them the picture because it wasn't just that house that I was looking at. I was sending them other pictures too, but I was like, that's the main thing that I wanted. So I had that house sit in my brain for over like a year or whatever. So, like I said, COVID happened and it kind of messed everybody's plans up. But after, that whole COVID year, we just said we wasn't going. Come 2021, in the beginning of 2021, like we were still talking about it or whatever. Then her sister had ended up pregnant. And I found out around January. Her younger sister ended up working with me. Bestie wasn't supposed to tell me, but I was at work one day and she ended up throwing up. And I was just like, I didn't know if she was sick or whatever, but I knew she ended up throwing up, but she cleaned it up. Because I was doing what I do at work, like putting out the parts or whatever I do at work. And she did up one day, and I didn't think nothing. I was like, maybe she just sick or whatever. But I don't know, in the back of my mind, I was just like, is it pregnancy? Because I knew she was sick the day before. And I'm just thinking, but I didn't say it, it wasn't like it's a known fact or nothing. I thought it did cross my mind. A week later, because I think she didn't come back to work. She left early one day. She missed a day, or she ended up talking to me. Because I don't think I brought it up to Bestie, honestly. I don't think I said, hey, Bestie, what happened to your sister? I didn't think I brought it up because I didn't want to, I was in her business or something. But Bestie ended up telling me, I think on the weekend, she texted me because me and her talk heavy sometimes.
Girl, guess what?
And I'm like, what? She was like,
my sister pregnant.
I'm like, what? You freaking lying. I kind of thought I just played along. I'm like, oh my gosh, tell her congratulations. And she was like,
no, she wanted to tell you herself. So this is a surprise.
So this is funny because this is why I don't understand about this part, like the middle part of the story. So when I'm talking about it again, because something else happened. But this is funny because she was like,
don't say nothing to her, act like you know. And when she comes to you, act like you don't know, basically.
And I was like, okay.
And she was like, I wasn't supposed to tell you or nothing. She wanted to tell you herself.
I just broke my necklace down. Y'all see it dangling. I broke it. I'm not gonna say nothing. You, like, Bestie, you cannot tell her now that she does not hold water. So if you got a secret that you're trying to keep, do not tell this girl anything. And I was just laughing because I already know how she is. So I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna put you on the spot like that. But yeah, so I already knew her other sister, the sister that's after her, because they all back to back in years. I already knew her sister the other sister wasn't gonna go either because she and the younger sister are kind of like closer. And I was just like, well, she's not gonna end up going if the other one not going. So that canceled out for them. But I was still thinking about going on the trip regardless. Still looking into going on the trip. So around this time, we started to actually hang out with my other friend, which I'm going to give her a name too. And her name is going to be Scammer. You guys are going to figure out, probably not this video, but in another video why I call her Scammer. But we started hanging out with Scammer and her friends and her cousin and brother. We started hanging out with them. Like, she had a whole clique with her, hanging out with her heavy. Because this was my friend. When I got out of high school, I went to beauty school and I met Scammer there. And I also met another girl there, but she's not in this story time. The other girl that I met there, she wasn't going to be able to come out of town with us because basically it was Father's Day weekend and she did not want to go because it was Father's Day and she wanted to spend time with her dad. She didn't end up going on the trip, so she's not even going to be in this story time. But Scammer, she was, and Scammer is going to be probably like the biggest part of this story time. So Scammer ended up being able to come out of town with us. So like I said, we started hanging out with her heavy. And like I said, she had a lot of people with her. Like, she had a clique of people with her. And we hung out at her birthday in 2020? In 2020, she had a party. And I met most of them in 2020. And that's like, I got back to talking to her heavy too. Because me and my friends started to do stuff. Me and Bessie started to do a lot of stuff in 2020. After, I think, my birthday, which is in July, we started going out to like freaking lounges and bars heavy, even though COVID was still here. And I don't know, we started partying more in 2020. So me and her started to find some stuff to do. And then everybody was like, a lot of the people that I knew from my high school and everything was like, y'all always doing something, y'all fun. And at this time, I was getting a lot of like, come to my party. I was like, what they call that? Hot commodity at the time. So a lot of people was like, come to my birthday party, come to this lingerie party, come here, come there. Because they saw me and my other friend was out going out having fun or whatever. So, like I said, I was getting a lot of invites to places, but I don't really go places if I don't really know somebody heavy. I got to be able to have a conversation with you and feel comfortable with you. And me and Scammer, we were close as heck. Like I looked up to her like an older sister. She's probably a year older than us, and I just looked at her like a sister. And I was always cool with her. Me and her we link and we have a good time. So that's always why I was like cool with her. Getting back into the story, it was New Year's, and my bestie had a New Year's party. Well, it really wasn't even supposed to be a New Year's party. It was just gonna be me, bestie, Scammer, bestie sisters. At this time, we didn't know she was pregnant. This was before I found out she was pregnant. She didn't tell me yet. So I didn't know she was pregnant at the time, but we had this New Year's party, right? And a lot of them came. I had a crush on this one guy. It's gonna be bestie sister, scammer sister, and bestie sisters. It was gonna be all of us, and we was just gonna sit at the house and play drunken games and everything like that. So I'm not gonna get into this story time. I'm gonna do a story time on this, but I'm just saying at the party it was just supposed to be us, and then the guy that I did have a crush on, he ended up coming. He got on my live, and I was like, "Hey, yo, you want to come through? Like we having a little get together at the house." And he was like, "That's what's up. I'm on the way." He sent me the details, yada yada yada, stuff like that. So that's when we end up really having like the conversation of going on the trip, because like I said, I was going on this trip regardless. So I sat them down, and Scammer's sister was like, yeah, that sounds nice, and we can go for my birthday. Her birthday, I think, was April. And I'm just like, girl, let me know when, because I could take off for work. I need to know now so I can take off for my vacation and everything. And we were talking about it going out for her birthday. After the New Year's get-together, Scammer and her sister fell out. So I was like, dang, well, guess it's not gonna be for her birthday, because they fell out. And their bond was kind of weird. I'm not gonna really talk about that in this story time. I'll talk about that in another story time. But yeah, so they fell out or whatever. I know for sure, because I asked again in the group chat, I'm like, are y'all want to come to the Miami or whatever? I need to know, because we need to start planning on stuff now. So I had the conversation again, and I knew Scammer said she was going for sure. And I just like, is your brother and your cousin gonna go? And she was just like, I don't know if they're gonna go, because I don't know, they didn't have a job at the time. And I was like, okay. And she was like, she didn't feel like paying for them. So I'm like, okay. And she was just like, she going for sure. So like, whenever you can, start sending me the money so we can start paying on this. I already knew the other part of the clique at the time. We was all kind of close. I already knew they weren't reliable to go, because we had a cabin trip, and it was my friend's birthday, bestie birthday. And we invited all of them, and they all didn't go. Nobody went that was in the freaking clique. So I was like, they're not reliable. So if they don't go, I'm going to just throw the invite out. If they go, they go. If they don't, they don't. I'm still going on this Miami trip. That's what I had in my head. So now it comes down to buying the house. Like I said in the beginning of the story time, when I was talking, saying I got in a car accident, I had the down payment on the house. And I try to get the house. When I go on vacation, I try to get, because I go around the same time every year. I go in June. I try to get the house in February. So this is like February now. This is like the downside of who's going, who's not going. But I just said, forget it. Me and my mom talked about it, and I was like, I'm gonna just buy this house. And my mom was like, you sure? I was like, yeah. So I went into my little savings account, and I bought the house. The house was like close to $4,000 for like 4 nights. 4 nights for $4,000. I'm not gonna say it's $4,000 because it wasn't $4,000, but I'm just gonna add it up to $4,000 because basically it was $4,000 paying for all that stuff. It was almost $4,000. So the house was how much for 4 nights. And as you guys can see, it's a nice looking house. So I ended up buying the house, and I just think I told nobody yet because I didn't want nobody to not pay. So I waited to kind of tell people and say I already got it. So I told everybody, I'm like, I paid half on the house. I told them I kind of lied and said I paid half on the house. I went and bought the house straight out. I didn't pay two different payments. I went and bought it out straight. So I was like, we got to pay on this house or we ain't gonna have the house. I was trying to rush people into, because I was very lenient on the prices. First of all, the house, like I said, it was close to $4,000, and I have proof of me and people sending the price of everything, because I don't want nobody coming back on here lying. So everybody was supposed to give me $300. That was gonna be for their room, and the rooms, it was a 4-bedroom house. It got a master, and then it got it had a room with 1 queen bed, and then the other one was like a double bed room, and then one was a room full of bunk beds. In the bunk bed room, you basically could sleep 4 in the bunk bed room. The other one you could sleep 2 because it's like 2 different beds. Then one of them was just 1 bed, and then the master, it's like a king size bed. So it's a 4-bedroom house. And as you guys can see, if you think I'm lying, you guys can check the house out on Airbnb if you guys want to cross this house. If you put in Miami, this house is most likely to come up. So, 4-bedroom house. Then you have, if you have space, because like I said, it still wasn't set in stone who was all going to come. So I really didn't know who was all going to come on the trip. But I knew that it was going to be enough beds for everybody if they were going to come on the trip. Because, like I said, I'm going to be in the master bedroom because I'm going to pay more. And if my friend got to sleep in the bed with me, she can sleep in the bed with me. I don't mind. So I knew it was basically going to be enough room for everybody if it was just going to be all of us, all of the clique going. Because it's still a bunk bedroom. So, like I said, I couldn't really rely on them to come or not. But I was like, if they need space, they'll have space. And like I said, I messed up. My biggest regret is always letting people pay when they can and not just pay straight out. Because I already give people out. I already be like, y'all need to be saving because we're going to go on a trip every year. So y'all already need to be saving y'all money for the next trip when we come back. And I give people like that option. I tell people, if you don't got it, that's fine. But if you guys do plan on coming to trip with me, have the money so I don't have to sit here and wait or pay it off. Because people end up thinking that you paid for it. They don't have to pay you. And they'll still try to come on this trip. But yeah. So I found out, I think a month after that, they weren't telling me they were really coming. But I knew Scammer was coming and I knew freaking my bestie was coming. They were already set in stone, they were coming. So I was like, it's just gonna be 3 of us? No, it's not gonna be fun. I like to have a lot of people when I go on a trip. Because it's just good vibes and it's just fun. I end up asking my mama. Going on a trip to Miami with your mama and it's supposed to be hot girl summer, I get it. But me and my mom and my family, like me, my mom, my dad, my brother, we close, like we like this. I don't like going on a trip without them. We have a good time. They get down, like my mom is fun. So I don't really like care if she come or not. But it was just gonna be like a friend's trip. After it was supposed to be a girl trip, then it was supposed to be a friend trip. Then I was just like, you know what? Ain't nobody saying they coming. I don't trust them because of what they did the last time when we had the cabin trip. So I ended up asking my mom if they wanted to come. I was like, if you want to come, you can come. Like, I want you guys to come out of town with me. And my mom was like, okay, so we need to start saving and stuff for this now. Like, that was what she was thinking about. Like, she was thinking about the clothes and what she gonna have for my dad and my brother. And we were just gonna, like, put everything together and we need to start buying stuff now. So around that time, I started buying stuff on Amazon. I'm spending my money heavy. Like, I'm gonna show y'all. If I find these clips, I'm gonna show you guys. Like, I was buying freaking. We went to Dick's and we bought I was buying like the swim shoes. I bought us freaking goggles. We all had different color goggles that were just fire. What else? We bought clothes. Like, we bought a lot of stuff. And it was just so fun because I was like, I'm happy it ain't gonna just be me and my friends now. Because I love going out of town with my family. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't like leaving them out of nothing. So, and I'm happy that I paid for it. I'm like, this is going to be the first trip I paid for. Because it's normally my mom and my dad. But I just felt so much better that I paid for this trip. And I was like, you guys are going on the trip that I paid for. Like, I just wanted to do that for them. Like, you know how you get older? Like, I want to buy my mom my house. I want to buy them a car. It just felt good to do that. After we got the house, like I said, it was like a month after we decided. Me and mom was like, at first I was going to take a plane down there with my friends. And we was going to do like a plane ride. But when my mom and them coming, my mom always get a van because we live in Georgia. Close to Atlanta. Not gonna say Atlanta because they got that big thing going on. If you're not Atlanta, It's not Atlanta, but we live by Atlanta. So we could really drive to Florida, which we always do anyway. But looking at where we stay for Miami, it was a 10-hour drive. So my mom was like, "Dang, I gotta be ready for a 10-hour drive," because we normally when we go out of town, we get a van regardless. We go to Orlando pretty much almost every trip. So going to Florida was not nothing new to me, but I just never been to Miami. I always go to I done went to Daytona, I done went to freaking all those other places that's closer up to Georgia, but Miami was gonna be a big one because it's further out, further down. So we were thinking about it. So we wanted to get a big van. So, okay, we went through Enterprise to rent this van. We wanted to get a 12, 15 passenger van. And we have done it before, but I'm going to come back to you guys on that because I'm going to tell you guys what happened, which was messed up. But we reserved the van in March. Putting it out there in March. You guys, we'll come back to that. Around March, we ended up getting I don't know if we got something in the mail, but we stayed at this house, the house before this house, we stayed at this house for 11 years. Well, that house for 11 years. We stayed there for a long time. And our landlord basically sold the house. And he didn't tell us or anything, which is why my mom was so hurt. Because him and my mom were close. He ended up losing his wife. A tragic accident happened and she was ran over, and she was out walking the dog and she got ran over because the person wasn't paying attention, and she ended up losing her life behind that, and rest in peace. So they were still close. He was still talking to my mom he was the owner of the house. So they would, anytime she was sending the freaking, the money to him, the rent, he would always contact back, and he ended up moving to Florida Keys, and him and my mom was hurt, but they ended up having a conversation. He was just I'm paying a lot for this house, because he did help us out a lot on the rent and everything. He even ended up paying more on the rent. Our rent we used to pay $1,100 for this house. It was a 3-bedroom house with a basement. It ended up going up, and he paid the other half of that. So he helped us out a lot. But mom was she's not mad at him because he did a lot for us in that time. He wasn't up here no more. He was helping us. So they ended up having that conversation. He ended up talking, but he said he did sell the house and that we had to probably be leaving. At first we were supposed to leave before the trip. Like I said, I already paid on the trip, guys. So it was I can't even back out of paying for the trip. I could get my money back, but I was no, we still go on this trip. Because like I said, I had enough to really move if we had to. But we had to just find out. We had to find a place. So this whole time, we packing for the trip, and we packing basically up the house. And I'm sitting there packing the house up and everything. And this whole movie thing was the worst. And I'm going to tell you guys why. I'm going to do a whole story time on that too. But it was just a lot going on. Like I said, we was going out of town plus that. And it was just so much going on. But we had to end up moving before we went out of town. So I ended up finding that out. And then after that, I think a couple months later, he ended up saying that he was helping us try to push it back. And they ended up pushing it back for real. My mama contacted new buyers because they were just gonna fix the house up. We had people coming in and out of our house just taking pictures of how much damages it or whatever was wrong, because they were gonna put it up. They was gonna fix it and put it back up on the market basically. So we had people coming in the house, having to come in, and I'm just it was just a lot. So they let us they pushed it back the day we were supposed to move. So we had to move after we came back out of town, which was good. It wasn't a lot of stress on us either, but we still had to pack our stuff plus get ready to go out of town. And we were buying more stuff because we had to buy stuff to go out of town with, plus pack up our other stuff. And then I had a party because I paid for 2 houses. I didn't tell you guys this, but I had a 23rd birthday. Was it 22nd? Was it 23rd, 22nd? I think it was my 23rd birthday, and I had a big house here in Georgia too. So I basically paid on both of those homes, at the same time. And I said I wanted to do a big party for my 23rd birthday, and I did. I had a pool house here in Georgia. So it was basically like I was going to come back from Miami, then a week or two later, it was going to be my birthday, and I was going to have that party. So I didn't tell you guys that, but yeah, that happened. I'm going to show y'all that house too. So it was just a lot of stuff on stuff because I had to get stuff for my birthday, and I had to get stuff ready for Miami. It was just a whole lot of, and through that time we had to move as well. So there's like 3 big major things happening back to back. So I'm happy they did push it back because, like I said, I was stressing because I had my birthday plus that, and I wanted to do both. I was like set on doing both. And when they said we could push it back to like August, it was so fun, and it's super helpful. I was pissed off, but I was just like, yeah, thank you guys for pushing it back, you know, because I didn't really want to move yet. Happy we moved though, because I did want to like decorate my room. The house we stayed in, it was just having a lot of problems anyway. It was having leaks and everything like that, so it wasn't a good house. And I did want to like make my room prettier, which I did. And I'm just happy we did move, but it's still like the price of living went up, and us trying to find a house was super stressful. Throughout that time, we were just figuring everything out. Basically, we had to go see a lot of homes, just because, you know, it was just a lot. And I'm not gonna get too much into that, but it was just a lot of work. I had to get off work, go see a house, get stuff packed, get stuff ready, do it again the next day. Like, it was super stressful. And then trying to find a house now, it was like, we'll put up, like, you know, you have to pay to see a house, guys. So we had to put that money up. That was supposed to be our out-of-town money. We seen probably like 7 homes, and we had to pay every time to go see a house, which it was just so much. So we basically having to spend the money that we used to basically go see the homes, we had to pay for. So this is really why I was pissed, because I'm like, y'all, I'm just saying, you coming on a trip. I still had my money in my savings. I was working off the money I was making through my checks from work. We having to pay to go see these homes, plus I'm having to pay for the dumpster that we had to get, because like I said, we lived in the house for 11 years. A lot of that stuff we had was trash, and we threw away everything. We came to this house with probably just a little bit of stuff, but we threw away our beds, our mattresses, everything like that. We started new when we came here. So I had to spend, I think that dumpster was $700 plus. I had to spend that, but I still had to go out of town. But like I said, I still was okay. And it's just, that's really why I'm really pissed at one of my friends in this story time. Because people don't think about what you got to do. But we're going to get into that story time another time. But okay, after the moving situation and everything, people still wasn't sure if they were going to make it out of town. We still didn't get yays back from these other 2. Because I asked the one I had a crush on, he was supposed to come out of town with us too. Him and his friend. And I didn't really have a yay or nay from them yet. So still, just like, I wasn't banking on them, but I was still letting them know, like, hey, whenever you get it, just let me know. Whenever you get it, all right, it's going to be whatever. Told them the price of everything so people knew. Okay, so this is where the part gets really juicy. Well, it's already juicy, but it's getting juicier. So, Scammer ended up asking me if her boyfriend could come on the trip, right? I met this dude one time because me and Bestie was getting a tattoo one day. And we were already out. She called us and was
like, hey, y'all want to do something?
Mind y'all, we just got a tattoo, like, we still in pain. We was like, yeah, we'll chill with you. Like, back then I like to party. Whenever you call me, I'm going to be ready to go. Like, it was nothing, like, I was young and just trying to do stuff. So back when she called me and she told us that, we was like, yeah, we'll come over. We was at Bestie house anyway. And we were just like, we'll go over there. She was like, we can drink, we can get some food. We didn't plan on spending the night, but I think we ended up spending the night because we were drinking heavy. And she just gave us a little, like, we went over there, and this is the first time I really met him, but it was just like, hey, what's up? He went back in the room and played the video game. So this night was just super chill. We was sitting there having fun, talking about the trip, getting ready for the trip, and we were just like, we saving, because we wanted to play. We was planning on doing other stuff, like going out to like Round One, these little like game places that we have in our state or whatever. And we just talking about doing stuff, but we just gonna wait and we gonna save up. But we did end up going out one of these times, which we wasn't supposed to, but because we was saving. But we ended up going out. It it's okay. It's just a couple of, dollars. 100, probably less than 100. Other than that, we did the little day where we just spent time because we friends. Like, we all was close at this time, and we just all want to have a good time. And I was, like I said, we had fun when we were drunk. Like, they were a vibe. I miss both of them, but I could never go back, basically. Like, we were good vibes. I'm not going to cap. It's just some things I'm not going to allow. But like I said, we had good times, good vibes. I remember all the good times and everything. And we could literally do nothing but still do something at the same time. And we spent the night over there. And I was supposed to go home because, like I said, we just got our tattoos. And I was in pain, but I had a good time. I'm not going to cap. I slept on my leg. My leg was swollen when I woke up. I had just got this tattoo. I can't remember what day it was or whatever, but I still have the videos. Because back then I videoed everything I did. And I still do sometimes, but back then it was like every day I was recording on Instagram. So what's funny is that's when I think we all ended up basically like we just start chilling and we were not doing nothing. We said we really got to save for this trip now. It's coming down. Like, this was around April. We had a little sleepover. Now it's getting close because we're going in June. So we got 2 months really left to do stuff to get ready for this trip. So Amber did ask if her boyfriend could come on a trip. I told her, I didn't text her back right away. I think I texted her back a day later. But throughout the time of her asking me, I had to sit down with my mom. I was like, I don't know if she's going to allow somebody else's boyfriend to come on a trip, even though it was kind of my trip. But I went down and had a conversation with her. We ain't arguing or nothing, but it's just, you know how when your mama tell you something, you just like, you don't want to hear it, which I should have listened to her because I regret it to this day. To this day. But it probably needed to happen because I still had them in my life. If this trip didn't happen, I would have kept them in my life, which I'm happy that I didn't listen to her, but I should have listened because it wouldn't have happened. So I told her about him coming on the trip, and my mom was like, she's literally, this is what she said. This is word from word. Because I asked her again, she was like, you don't know nothing about him. And that is true because, like I said, I met him that one time and that was it. We never had a conversation after that. Wasn't close or nothing like that. It wasn't like, I didn't really know him. And this is like a new boyfriend for her. Like, this girl just met him that year. And they were together like that. And he starts living with her in that 1 year. And I'm like, she don't really know him either. But that's her boyfriend. So I'm like, I went, like, me and my mama, we had a back and forth type thing going on. I'm just like, it was really my trip, Mom. And I was like, I want her to at least be okay with coming on the trip. I didn't want her to feel alone because I know I had my family plus my friends, and she would have probably felt alone on the trip. So I felt more comfortable with her bringing somebody that she knew.
Really don't know this person.
And I should have listened to her because she's right. I didn't know nothing about this dude. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he was about. And I still was trying to defend her. I was defending the scammer and her boyfriend heavy. Like, I really was. And I got a little upset with my mom because I'm like, come on now. It's just a trip. What could go wrong? That's basically what I was saying. And a lot went wrong. But me and her, like, we didn't talk for a day or two. We were just mad at each other. But I went so hard for scamming, I tell you that, and her boyfriend. Then my mom was like, it's up to you. Whatever you choose, your trip. Basically, I'm like, oh man. I done got it. I done went at it with my mom a little bit, trying to defend this girl. And okay, after that, and now we're getting close to the trip. I think it was some days before the trip now. We're getting close to, like, we probably go on this trip the next day. This is literally around that time. So me and Scammer knew this eyelash tech, right? And I wanted to get my eyelash extensions. I've never got it before this day. This was my first time getting eyelash extensions. She would just like, send me the money, basically. Scammer said, send me the money. We're going to get her to come to the house. And it was way more to get her to come to Scammer's house than us going to the place. So Scammer wanted her to come over. And you know it's an extra charge. And I really realized this. She told me how much the price would be with her coming and everything. And I basically sent her more. So this is one of the problems that I have with the eyelash tech coming and with us, me and Scammer. So the person was coming to our house. I ended up probably paying, I don't know if I paid for her, but I think I paid for my eyelashes and for her coming. I spent, because Scammer, I didn't really know how much the lady charged. I was just okay with whatever. I was just like, I want my eyelashes done. So honestly, because I look back at the prices when I got my eyelashes done before, and I'm like, this is that cheap. Like, I went on her site, the girl site, and the eyelashes were way more. Like, I'm gonna look back at the prices, but I think I really spent close to $300 because you know you gotta pay if they come to your house. And the girl was late, mind you, the eyelash tape was late. So she's telling us it'll be extra charge if you're late, but they be late. And I hate people that do that. How you late and you say extra charge? I should charge you extra. Well, you should charge me less if you're late. Come on now. But she was super late. Well, not really like bad late, but she was late. And I understood, because I know it's like traffic and stuff, but it's like, you gonna tell me if I come late to your place, it's gonna be freaking more, but you come late and you still charge me the same price. But it's whatever. So that's one of the problems I have with her right there. But I didn't really bank on them because I'm like, I really don't know what this lady charged, but it was a lot. And I didn't care because I had it, but it was still like, that was a lot of money I spent on my lashes that I could have just got these freaking put on lashes, you know? I liked them because it was my first time doing it. And I was just like, oh, they're so pretty. I don't have to freaking put nothing on. They're going to be on me all night, all day. I can swim in these. So I'm really like, I'm happy I got them done. And we went through that together. She went, then I went. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Like, this is something new to me. Then, let's see. After the lady left, I had to wait for my ride to get there to come pick me up. Me and her sat down in her living room, and she ended up telling me something, the biggest secret ever. I'm gonna wait. I want you guys to guess what she told me. This girl told me she was pregnant. What the fuck? What the actual, like, for real? I was so happy for her, but I'm sitting in the back of my mind like, we going to Miami. We were supposed to drink. We supposed to be hot girl summer. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, but I was so happy. Like, y'all don't understand. I always jinxed everybody. I'm like, you're going to get pregnant first. This person going to get pregnant first. And everybody I said that was going to get pregnant first got pregnant. I think I'm bad luck when it comes to that. But I already knew because I'm like, y'all, but first of all, if you're fast, you're going to bound up end up pregnant. Like, y'all people that be out doing more than what me and my bestie was doing. Everybody was doing stuff. And I was like, y'all going to end up pregnant. And they did because y'all doing stuff. And if you have an unprotected sex, you already know that you're going to end up pregnant. Come on now. But I already, like, people kept saying it was going to be me. I'm like, no, I'm not fast. I was still a virgin at the time. Come on. So they all ended up pregnant or whatever. So I was like, come on, girl. I didn't say that like that, but I was just like, we supposed to be out drinking. She was like, yeah, drink on the trip. Because she told me, because she knew I was going to probably look at her if she wasn't drinking or nothing. And she know, like, this girl would drink with us, no cap. Like, she probably wouldn't drink as much as me and Bestie would drink, but she would drink. And she was just like, I already know, I can't hide it, because I know y'all
gonna be like, why you ain't drinking or whatever on the trip.
So I'm just like, okay, that's fine. Like, I was okay with it. I ain't gonna cap. Like, I wasn't mad that she wasn't gonna have a hot girl or something, because I was still gonna drink. I would worry about myself. But I was just like, I was so happy for her. I was like, yo, I hope you have a girl, because we could have a girl in the clique, get to have a little girl with us. I was so happy. But when me and her fell out, I didn't get to end up going to none of her stuff for the baby. And it come to find out she did end up having a girl. I was like, in the beginning of her pregnancy, when we were close, I was like, are you okay? How is it going? And she was telling me she was sick sometimes. And it was just, we were super close. Like, this, honestly, like, I did look at her like she was a sister. She told me she was pregnant. She told me not to tell Bestie. I don't know why she said don't tell Bestie, but everybody know not to tell Bestie stuff. That's a secret. Because Bestie tell everything. That's why I said, I'm going to tell you guys this in a minute when it came to her sister being pregnant because of this incident. And Scammer did not want me to tell Bestie that she was pregnant. Yeah, she wanted to be like a little secret. She wanted to tell her. And I was like, well, no. I told her, I was like, I ain't going to say nothing. And what I do, I did the same thing Bestie did. And this is so funny because I don't, like, me and her were more close than me and Scammer was. So I was like, hey, girl, I told Bestie this. I was like, don't you say nothing. You think you want it from me to not sit here and spoil that you done told me? You better not tell her that you knew. You better act surprised when she tell you. The same thing she said to me. And I didn't spoil it. I did the same thing because I was just, you know how you be wanting to gossip? I think I wanted to gossip a little bit. I was like, girl, guess what? Oh, I almost said her name. I told him, I was like, so you better not. I told him, scammer ain't gonna care about it. Surprise the scammer when she tell you this. Scammer was supposed to tell her before, and it took her a while to say that she was pregnant. But it was so funny. And the fakest performance from Bestie when Scammer told her she was pregnant. Oh my freaking gosh. But it's just so funny thinking back on it. So boom, let's get back into this. After I told Bestie about it, like I said, this was like the day before we was leaving. It was literally the day before we was leaving, because I said I'm gonna get my eyelashes done this Saturday. We ended up leaving Sunday. So literally that night, that's when we were trying to figure out, because I was still texting both of them, and Bestie ended up coming to sleep at my house that night. And I knew Scammer really couldn't, because her and her boyfriend was going. I was like, that's gonna be too many people at the house. And so basically, we were trying to figure out where we was gonna pick everybody up at. My auntie, I forgot to tell you, my auntie ended up coming on the trip, my dad's sister. And all them, like my now boyfriend, he ended up coming on the trip too. At the time, me and him wasn't together. He was my friend. He ended up coming on the trip, so all of us was at my house. And while we were moving, so we had boxes and stuff packed and everything, but they said they would come. Bestie was there, my auntie, and my boyfriend was there, plus my family. I know my dad, brother, and my mom. So we was all good. We just had to go pick up Scammer and her boyfriend in the morning. So after that, what happened? So yeah, we were supposed to leave earlier than when we left, but everybody went to sleep super late. All of us went to sleep. My dad probably was the first person to go to sleep. He went to sleep at 1. And like I said, it's a 10-hour drive. So all of us, we went to sleep at 5 in the morning. We were supposed to leave at like 6 or 7 in the morning. And we were all tired. Like, we did not get any sleep. My mama probably got 2 hours of sleep. And like I said, my mom and my dad was going to be driving. So everybody was super tired in the morning. We was like, dang, we should have went to sleep. I literally got an hour of sleep, guys. As soon as I went to sleep, the alarm went off. And we had to rush out the house because we tried to be there. We calculated the time we were supposed to be there, which clock in time was like at 4. So other than that, we ended up getting up in the morning. Had to go pick up them. So, okay, the day we got our eyelashes done, that was supposed to be the day my mom and them went up to get the vans. Come to find out, guys, this is the part where it's kind of crazy to me. We was all, like I said, we all paid for a freaking 12, 15 passenger van, right? They get to Enterprise. They do not have the 12 to 15 passenger van. That's why I said we would never go to Enterprise again when it come down to a van, because we had scheduled that all the way in March, and they still did not have a van for it. We had freaking made a reservation for it, and they did not stick to that reservation. So they ended up giving us 2 vans. They needed, so you know when you have to when you get a rental car, that you gotta have a bill that you pay on and certain stuff like that. So my mom was trying to think about who she could get to get the other van. And my dad, all of my mama bills, like my mom paid on the bills, like she got her name on it. So my dad didn't even have, any mail that come to him about that. So he couldn't do it. So my auntie ended up having to do it. And so basically with that being said, she had to put down on the down payment for the car. She wasn't expecting to do that. And they all was supposed to give me $150 on the van, and which is the problem that we have now. It's like they gave me very lenient on the prices again. That was already like $2,000 for the vans, no cap. And I was very lenient on prices. Like I tell you guys, I was just like, well, they just give you 100. Like me and my mom talked about it. It was like they'll just give you 150 on a van, and we can pay the rest, and they just give us gas. Because, going to Miami from Georgia, that's a long drive. You're going to be, and then filling up those vans cost a lot too. So when we went to go pick them up, we had 2 different vans. They thought we was going to have 1 van, but they ended up going, all the boys and my auntie was in 1 van. Like, so my brother, my boyfriend, my auntie, and my dad was all in 1 van. It was just 4 of them. And our van was my mama, me, and my friend Bestie, and freaking Scammer boyfriend was all in the other van. I mean, the van I was in. When we went to QT we went to go fill up the van, both vans, and we went to go get like some breakfast there. So basically, we ended up going there, and my mom was just talking to us about the expenses. Basically, she was like, if y'all could just give me gas every now and then, I'm not going to really hassle y'all on gas. So she was already being very lenient about that. So I already knew my one friend situation. I'm not like her and my boyfriend was like, it wasn't them because my boyfriend helped us out a lot on the trip. He bought people breakfast, everything like that. So it really was him and my other friend, Bessie. I already knew her situation. Like I said in the beginning of the story time, was like, she told me already that she was going to have kind of financial problems going on with the trip, which I was super okay with. So I wasn't hassling her about that. She already knew because I told her, like, we had separate conversations with my mama. She was like, my mom was like, I got you. You ain't got to worry about nothing like that. But with Scammer, her boyfriend, they was supposed to give us some gas money or whatever. And we had to pay tolls. When you go into like Florida, you got to pay tolls. So that, when you go with Enterprise, they make you like, when you come back from the trip, they end up, when you come back with the freaking van, they'll make you pay for all the tolls you done went through. So they'll just come out your account. And they didn't really give us no gas money or nothing like that. So that was the first. That's why I'm calling people like that. I'm just saying, if you able to get your eyelashes done, your nails done, waxes and all that, and you not able to give people gas money, and who was already lenient, like I said, that house cost $2,000, the freaking vans was $2,000, and we asked you to only give us $300 for your room, and freaking $150 for the van. And I'm gonna show y'all that I have proof, because the girl gave me $450 for everything. And I have the freaking pictures right here. So that's like the problem I'm having with you guys. Like I said, she made me pay more on eyelashes, and she only gave me $450. Y'all understand in the end, like after probably the next when I'm gonna do a whole separate video why I call her Scammer, y'all gonna understand then for real what went down. Like I said, we ended up picking them, and then after that, we went to Miami. After we got the gas, we went straight to Miami. That's gonna be the end of this video. I enjoyed this video, but before I leave, I just want to put this out there. Don't go to Miami with friends, or you will not have those same friends. They could be your best friends from day one, and they change on you when you go to Miami. I thought it was a cap, thought it was a lie. It is not. But going back into this, everybody is down with you when you're planning a trip, but who really is going on that trip? That's the T. Because that trip was how many people that was supposed to be? Over 12 people. And all of them, and the guy that I had a crush on, and his friend didn't even come on the trip. They didn't tell me. I mean, I don't know, they did not contact me about not going on the trip. I found out because they never texted me. And I was like, I'm not going to keep hitting people up. They're not going to tell me. But it wasn't an issue. I would have wanted you to just say, hey, go, I can't make it on the trip. Rather than me having to find out about you just not coming or saying nothing about it. It was okay if you did not have it or you had to do something. But when we were out of town, he did kind of contact me when we was on live. And he just said he couldn't really make it. So I was okay with that. It wasn't a real issue, but I would have rather had that before the day we were at least going or something, just to have the confirmation that you weren't coming. But other than that, like I said, when you plan a trip, everybody's like, oh, I want to go, it sounds nice. But who is really going to come on that trip with you? Yeah, so that's the end of the part 1 Miami trip from hell. It was so much trying to get this trip together. And this is an hour-long video, and I hope that I cut this into some pieces, but part 2 is where the freaking issues come into play. Stay tuned though, guys. This is my first freaking story time. If you guys liked it, please subscribe to your girl channel. Help your girl out. Cause it's about to be some bangers. If you guys don't subscribe now, you guys are gonna miss out on a lot of stuff. Just go ahead and hit the subscribe button, comment down below, and make sure you guys hit the like button. Please help your girl out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Mwah.